Hello everyone, this is Sloth from Sloth and Moose with another Starcraft 2 commentary. My gameplay today, it's going to be on the infamous Metalopolis, one of the most played maps other than Xel'Naga Caverns in the Starcraft 2 world. And so, we got a Zerg versus Zerg. Not my favorite matchup, but I am getting a lot better at it lately. For whatever reason, I think it's because I practice it so much. There's a lot of people playing Zerg and a lot of people playing Protoss. I haven't really played that many Terran all that lately for whatever reason. Not really sure, but you can tell this is post-patch for when they, and I apologize for highlighting the drones and stuff. It's kind of a habit because I do it in game. Anyway, this is post-patch on the new replay update. There are a few new features. I'm not sure if we'll really use them in our cast. They're a little bit exploded. For example, you have things like this. I mean, this isn't terrible. This is kind of standard. Like if you were in like the GSL or whatever, they would have something like this posted, kind of pasted over the top of it. But say like what's another one? The APM meter and blah blah blah. It's kind of a back and forth tug of war looking thing. I mean, it's pretty cool. I just wish it wasn't so giant and took up like half the screen. So I'm gonna take this stuff off real quick. But yeah, I don't know if y'all like that. If y'all like the new replay things, just let us know in the bottom. So we both do scout with our overlords and realize we are I don't know, I guess this is adjacent positions. It's not cross positions and it's not really the really close positions, but not too far away, so you always got to worry about a Zergling rush or that HD spawn crawler rush. If y'all haven't seen that video, it's pretty interesting strat. I've used it a few times. It's worked I think once for me, but if you're a halfway decent player and can micro it all with your drones, then you can easily hold it off. So we are going to both be throwing down a extractor and spawning pool. Nobody is going to go for like that risky quick expand just because it's so hard, because when speedlings get up, map control is just ridiculous, and this natural is so hard to hang down. So I'm playing this game. I really, especially on maps that have this really small ramp. I mean, I know this is like really ideal for Terran or Protoss playing against Zerg, but in Zerg versus Zerg, I really like this little ramp simply because you can block it off with 3 roaches. Y'all see that. Actually, I kind of messed up on it here in a minute, but y'all will see that. But this ramp's really easy to hold position roaches on. So you can hold position with your roaches. If he goes a lot of lings, he's not going to be able to get up in there. And so should be fine. But you do see I do have the roach warren going down as well as my first queen. I did queue up a second queen, but I will cancel that. I was going to start spreading creep a little bit earlier than I normally do. Normally I don't start spreading creep until after my natural's down, but I don't expect to get a natural anytime soon. So roaches should be popping out. Let's bring up the production chart. Oh, the production chart's new too. Ooh, that's cool. We have 3 roaches popping out right now. I'm hoping those 3 roaches will be able to block off the ramp, because I do have my overlords. Like I have said before in Zerg versus Zerg, you can keep your overlords really aggressively placed just because they don't have anything that can attack air really quickly. But he does have 5 lings coming out across the map, and I believe this is a complete wall off, but Zerglings might be able to cut through there a little bit. We will see though. And I am going to go ahead and go to Lair Tech and get my second gas and throw down my Evo chamber. So what I want to do right here, my main goal, simply because I saw he was expanding, was to get level 1 upgrades and also get Glial Reconstitution. And I do make quite a bit of mistakes in this game that he did not capitalize on, but y'all will see what I'm talking about here in a bit. It does have quite a lot of lings. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, I can't count, something like that. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 lings. Excuse me. But 13 lings against these 4 roaches blocking off the ramp. Also have a spine crawler right here. I built them in my mineral line at first just simply because I didn't want those Zerglings pulling into my main and starting to harass my drones. I should pull 3 more. Yeah, there they go. There goes 3 of my drones onto gas. Level 1 upgrades starting, as well as roach speed. So I want to move out with that level 1 upgrades and roach speed, because he's already got his natural up. He doesn't really have that many units. He's throwing down 2 spine crawlers, which is pretty smart considering he knows that I'm still on 1 base. So all he really has to do is hold down that natural for quite a while, and he should be able to push pretty far ahead. He also had his roach warren go down. I missed that. He doesn't have his lair though yet, so he's not going to have roach speed anytime soon, and he's not going to have level 1 attacks or level 1 defense. But then again, he does have this natural and these 2 spine crawlers for defense, so he should be fine for now. And these lings, just these 13 lings right here, grant him so much map control. So I am looking to kind of push out right here. My goal was to get about 8, 9, 10 roaches, something like that, and then expand while I was attacking, just because, I mean, you know, it's kind of dumb to do all ends, just because if they don't work, you're done. If something like this doesn't work, you have a chance. So I saw these lings running in right here, I believe, and he might actually kill this hatchery off. I don't know if I cancel it. I'm slow, so I didn't cancel it, so I'm garbage. But I figured he would run up in the main right there and start harassing my probes. I guess he saw the spine crawler eventually. I'm not really sure. Let's see if he saw the spine. No, he hasn't seen the spine. So I do pull back. His lings are still here. I'll probably pick off one. Yeah, pick off one ling. It's got level 1 completing right now, as well as speed getting done. And I know at this point that since he has this map control, I really need to expand and try my best to catch up. And the best bet for him right now would be to go ahead and get lair. Go ahead and just pump out a bunch of roaches, because he knows I've been on one base this entire game. So I expected him to do something like that and just pull so far ahead. What he's doing right now, he is just splitting drones and roaches, so he is going to have quite a lot of roaches. But his problem this whole game was all he really did any pressure or harassment with was these lings that he had the entire game. And that's kind of a problem right here, as you'll see as we progress later in the game. I do see this overlord after I inject, and I should go after it. I'm not sure if I killed it. I was a little busy with these roaches because the roach speed had just finished, and I wanted to put a little pressure on him, make him overproduce on either the lings or the roaches, and we will see what he does right here. Let's see if he produces some more roaches. He does not produce any more roaches, but he does have the advantage right here, so I know I have to pull out right here. I can't take this on by myself, but I do know that I can outrun these roaches, and these roaches get annihilated. I didn't even realize that happened in game. Let's see if he's going any tech. Still does not have his lair, so that could be the downfall of him in this game. And while I was putting that pressure on, I did go ahead and throw down my hatchery, and what that little bit of pressure caused him to do was to stop producing drones there for a minute and just start producing. He just produced 7 roaches, I believe, and that's going to give me enough time to come back in the harvester count. And I've got quite a bit of oversaturation. Let's see, probably about 7 or 8 drones of oversaturation at my main. So I was just really hoping I could stay in this game until I produced enough drones to catch back up, and I do have pretty much, I think I have enough roaches to deal with this. Yeah, I do. I've got 18 to his 19, as well as level 1 upgrades and speed, which he is just now getting his lair. So speed is pretty necessary on roaches in a Zerg versus Zerg, just because your reinforcements do not get there fast enough without it. My creep spread is garbage. Yeah, I know. It's alright though, but I do have to do a pretty big transfer. It's going to get me pretty well saturated on the minerals, and I do go ahead and throw down that first gas. And my second gas has been running pretty much the entire game, so my gas count should be, what's my gas count? Pretty high, 35, 39, somewhere in there. So I did go ahead and throw down the hydrogen since I was getting that third gas and second base. But honestly, I don't like hydras in Zerg versus Zerg just because roaches, I feel, are just better if you have the more roach numbers, and just hydras take up way too much supply for the damage they deal against roaches, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to go ahead and get groove spawns. That's kind of a just in case. I was worried at this point. I mean, we're 12 minutes in the game. If he had decided to, because I don't think I've done any scouting really. Let's see what I see. I don't even know he has a roach warren. Well, I mean I do, but because he has roaches. But I didn't know if he had a lair at any point in the game. And I was expecting a spire follow-up from him, just because, I mean, I have straight roaches, and he's seen that the entire game. But he could be expecting the same thing from me. But at the same time, I was getting the hydrogen. I did realize that the patch just went down on the infestor upgrades for extra armor damage, or extra damage to armored units. So I did decide to go ahead and throw down Infestation Pit, and I do make a mistake. which I always do, and I'm just really producing the roaches right now. I know I'm caught up to him on bases pretty well. Not as good as well saturated as he is on either base, but that's alright. I knew I needed to produce his roaches, and throw a few drones in there every now and then. I did what I was talking about, that mistake. I did produce the 2 infestors before I started pathogen glands, which is not going to be that big of a deal. They're going to be able to generate enough energy for fungal growth before that pathogen glands gets done. I should realize that any time now, just because my gas is getting really high. I'm like, oh, what's going on? So I do have level 2 upgrades on my roaches, level 2 attack upgrades, or I'm 1-2 actually to his 0-1, so very high up on the upgrades. And I do have 2 infestors now coming on the field. There's one, then the other one is right there. So fungal growth, if y'all didn't know, on the patch does a lot more damage to, say, roaches or any other armored units now. So we'll see how these infestors come into play. And he is taking his 3rd. I think I did see this eventually. This overlord spotted it, and then I started to move out, I believe. And he has also started to produce some hydras. So he has 6, 7, 8, 9 hydras on the field to my let's look at the units tab. 44 roaches to 37 roaches and 12 hydras. So he does have a little bit of an army advantage. I mean, hydras do a lot of damage as long as the roaches are sitting behind. I mean, as long as the hydras are sitting behind the roaches, and the roaches are soaking up the damage instead of the hydras. Did turn into an overseer. Went ahead and scouted his hatch right here. I did decide to go ahead and queue it up to come over here as well to make sure he didn't take a hidden expansion, because I did see his creep spread start coming across the map. And I did want to move out right here. I was with my 1-2 upgrades. And I did also have these 3 infestors right here, each having 1 fungal growth. So we'll see how this battle fares up right here. I do hold right here for a minute just to get my infestors up here. I forgot my hotkey because I'm terrible. But 44 roaches against 37 roaches, 7 hydralists. But I also have, you have to take into account that I do have the fungal growths, which could play a little bit of part in this battle. I do decide to move in a little bit right here. I want to pull his units back into my infestors and try and drop down some good fungal growths just to kind of block them off. And I do drop 3 fungal growths, so going to do quite a lot of damage on those roaches, as well as some of the fungal growths going down on the hydras. But he does have an outstanding force right here. Just so many hydralists sitting behind these roaches, and a little bit better concave as well. I'm kind of it's kind of an even battle, but he does decide to pull back, I believe. But right there, what I would have done if I was him was attack. But then again, I do have 14 roaches on the way, and I should expand at this point, and there goes that drone. I should have expanded before I attacked, just so that hatchery would already be up, and started producing drones again as well. But not going to be too big of a deal. His hatchery is up now, but really has not much saturation. Me and him both have been just pretty much just making drones, making attacking units this entire time, roaches, hydras, and not really making that many drones. He is making 7 now, which he probably has rallied to his 3rd base, and my 3rd base is now only about not even halfway done. So he has pretty much been ahead this entire game, except on the upgrades. See, he still is sitting on 0-1. He does have level 1 armor on the way, but my roaches are already 1-2. I have level 2 armor on the way, so it's going to be pretty hard for him. And you will notice that I don't think I produced 1 hydra this entire game. The hydra den was kind of a waste of money, but it was necessary just in case of the like a spire and some muta harassment or stuff like that. Do go ahead and get 2nd, but always on your 3rd base get both the gases, just because, I mean, if you're on 3 bases, you should be already heading up to, say, tier 2 or tier 3, not tier 2, tier 3 units. So definitely remember that. I should get my hive as well soon. So I did notice that all he really had was ground units this game. I knew I had to do something other than just the upgrades being ahead of his to be able to win this game. And we'll see how I transition into here. And there goes my lair right there. And let's see if I do something else. I just played this game, so I know what's going to happen. Proven fact, if you play the game, you probably know what's going to happen. So, I could probably go ahead and transfer a few more of these drones. I'm getting really low, 95, 140, 135, 160, and 240. So very low in the minerals at the main, and I do go ahead and transfer a few more drones to my next expansion. My macro isn't slipping too bad. He is at 197 supply, which at this point you have to move out with this force. It's just, you have to. If you're max supply, I don't know what he's really waiting on. He doesn't really have much on the way. Maybe he's waiting for that ground carapace level 1, but and there we go, Skype message. Probably Moose, so tell him to shut up in the comments, guys. Just be like, shut up, idiot. I do have 14 more roaches on the way. I do know he's got to be getting close, so we will see how he fares up against my roaches if he does decide to move out, because he is at 197, but I am at 193, so these roaches are going to be here, and I'm going to be able to get reinforcements as quickly as possible. So pretty much max out army versus max out army, and we'll see if roaches with 2-2 versus hydras and roaches with 1-2. See how we goes right here, completely maxed out. And let's see. So I'll get a pretty good concave. I do get the first wave of shots off, and what he does right there, never do that in a Zerg versus Zerg, especially in a Roach Hydra battle. Never move your forces closer to the other person's forces. Even if you, well, I mean, if there's like 5 roaches and you have like 10, then you can do it. But right here, you never want to do that, because it gives my roaches time to attack your units while they're moving forward. So I'm winning this battle without a doubt. Army supply is, I am down to 145, but that is because I think I'm low on larva, maybe, or maybe I'm just not producing. But I did go ahead and get my spire as well while that was going on, and as you can tell, I am going to be transitioning into brood lords. That would be the only reason I would get a spire right now. His hydras would just counter my mutas so quickly if I got them. So spire's up, greater spire is on the way. I should have some. Where in the heck are my corruptors? I have to get corruptors. But like I said, I mean, really, he's been up on the economy pretty much the entire game. He's more saturated than I am. I'm pretty well saturated at my second and my third. Got all 6 gases going, so I'm going to be able to fund the brood lords, and that's what I'm waiting on right now. That's why my minerals, I won't be spending hardly anything at this point. Zerg melee attack level 1 should be the the only thing that I research while I'm producing these corruptors before I get the brood lords, just because I know I need all the gas that I can for these 6 brood lords. That's all I really want, is those 6 brood lords, because he has nothing at this point that can attack me. Let's see if he has a spire. If he has a spire and he gets just a few corruptors, he should be able to take these broodlords out without a problem. He does have a spire on the way. It is right here. So I don't know if he saw that. Oh, he does have a changeling right here. So maybe he expects the broodlords simply because all I produced was roaches, and now he should be able to see. Let's see if he can see that. He can see my broodlords warping in, so he is going to need to get that spire up. So he did do a pretty good gamer sense right there, going and throwing down the spire. He knows he's going to need the corruptors. I probably should have produced 2 or 3 more corruptors just to deal with any corruptors that he had, even throw down some corruption. And he does send out a little bit of roach force. Not really sure why, but we will see what he plans to do with this. And we'll see if I can kill a lot of his units. He's kind of sacrificing right here, it looks like. Oh yeah, duh, because he saw simply because he saw my broodlords, he wants to free up some supply so he can get some corruptors out. So 6 broodlords and a lot of roaches, and I am up on supply, but that's simply because he is waiting to produce a lot of corruptors. His spire is almost done. We'll see how many corruptors he needs. He probably, against 6 broodlords, probably needs 4, maybe 5 corruptors, and he's producing 15 corruptors. Very big mistake right there. 15 corruptors versus 6 broodlords is just completely unnecessary. I mean, you can take out 6 broodlords with 1 corruptor simply because I have nothing to attack air. But I mean, 4, 5, maybe maximum. Simply because his corruptors can come out here, kill all these broodlords quickly, and be done with it. But it does look like we're going to have the final engagement right here. If I win this battle, especially with these broodlords, I should pretty much be able to finish the game off. And he does have all these corruptors coming in now, and they're going to kill my broodlords relatively quickly, but there's so many of them, and they can't attack my roaches. And I'm ahead in the roach. Actually, we're pretty even in the roach upgrades. But I do have a pretty good concave right here. He's kind of stuck a lot of units back here. And my guys are just going to be able to... Oh, and he does move in again. Another big mistake right there. Moving into the roaches, it gives pretty much gives me an extra shot. I should have all of my hatcheries set to this point. Yeah, I'll pull them right here just so my reinforcements can come. And his creep spread is actually helping me at this point because I didn't do the greatest job of creep spreading this game. Although he did kill a lot of my creep tumors when he moved out with that first force. But it does look like I'm doing pretty well for myself. I've got level 3 attacks on the way. If that finishes, it's just going to be game over for him. 3-3 versus 2-3. Of course, I'm going to win. I mean, it's physics, guys. But anyway, we are... that's pretty much going to be it. I mean, I'm going to be able to cut off his reinforcements from his main, from his natural, and from his 3rd and 4th as well. So really upgrades that game. The switch to Broodlords was definitely the winner of it, just simply because he made the giant mistake of making that many corruptors. He probably sacrificed 20 roaches, 15 or 20 roaches, just to make 15 units that can't even attack my units, other than the 6 Broodlords, which just isn't going to do much to me. So, pretty good game, guys. It was a longer game, so it might take me about 7 days to upload this video. So if you're watching it, this is probably 7 days later, and I hope you had a good week. So, I guess I'll see you guys next time. Maybe Moose will be back with me, but probably not because he's a failure and likes to fail at things. So, see you next time, guys.